Y'all, I'm drinking Blake Shelton's vodka because I'm in Oklahoma. I'm like his Gwen Stefani.
Maybe plus 150 pounds.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiance. Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown. 90-day Beyonce. Marrying someone you only met on your phone. Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gate.
Let's love.
Wow, that made me laugh because it was right, and it made me cry because it was right. What is this? I got to look this up. Blake Shelton vodka.
Vodka is vodka. As long as it's not Popov, you're fine.
You know what? It's not.
Or Burnett.
Kate Hudson. It's not Kate Hudson vodka because that shit is good. And this is called Smithworks vodka. It's not as good as Kate Hudson's, but it's still good.
All of these craft vodkas, yes, there's a difference, but you guys, you don't need them. It's either Tito's, Grey Goose. If I'm having a bad week, I go for Sky. I'm sorry. Those are the three that I accept. All these are flash in the pan. I want a reliable vodka.
Do you mean bad week because you don't have any money? Because Sky is cheap.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Well, Smithworks vodka, it's made from corn, not potatoes, and it's water from. Oh, it's from Fort Smith. I've been to that lake, and it's corn from Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma.
No one gives a shit about any of this.
Smithworks, the spirit of the heartland.
And I'd be honest, I do not like the voice. I'm okay on Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani.
Don't you talk about Blake Shelton. He's from Oklahoma. He hunts with my cousin.
I'm saying I'm okay on him.
He's a very nice man.
You've never met him.
Never.
I think it's just he's said a couple of things in the first couple seasons of The Voice that kind of like threw me. Also, I just don't think the show is as good as American Idol, which is back and amazing. If you haven't watched American Idol, you guys, since it's been to ABC, someone said on this Facebook group, is that show still on? Yes, and it's amazing.
I'm fine.
You know what? If you watched it, then we would talk. But you refuse to watch. So
then we don't have to talk. Yeah, that's why I don't watch it.
You know what? I talked to you enough, so it's fine.
So you're like, now you're on it. You're fair.
If I would love one more time a day, I did not have to talk to you. Just to be honest, if I could subtract that 20 minutes of the day that I could have from peace, and I don't have to explain something to you, I would love that.
Yo, welcome to Reality Gaze.
Welcome. We really do like each other.
We do. Welcome to sometimes. Welcome to Reality Gaze, y'all. Today we're recapping 90 Day Fiancé Part 1, Season 8, Episode 11. Three's a party.
Three's a party?
Three's a party?
Which is, I think, referencing Tarzal.
I think so.
The most unfortunate daughter of Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof.
Which got the least amount of plays. Ooh, this vodka. It's kicking in on me.
Lightweight.
Y'all, my dad, I'm having this vodka because I can't go into all of it because of some privacy reasons, but of some people in my life. But long story short, I thought my dad, he just got up out of there and said, I'm going to go meet my friend. He asked about me. And I thought my dad was going to chase tail because y'all, even with cancer, he's got that pump up dick. So he can still have sex.
Can you remind other people of what that pump up dick is, which I'm still mortified about it.
He'll tell anybody, y'all. They call him Robo Dick, at he'll go to frequent a massage parlor, and I'm not saying that is good or bad. I'm just saying that's what he does. And he would die if I knew this. Although we got him a cameo once with Charlie Sheen, because I love my 2.5 men. I love my men. And I said, I do too, Dad. And he goes, Matt. But anyway, we got him a cameo from Charlie Sheen for his 70th birthday. And Charlie Sheen said, and I hear you've got a pump up dick. So I hope you're using that out there. And he went, oh God, Matthew. And he was very embarrassed. But y'all, it's basically, he can't take Viagra because he has high blood pressure. So he has, basically, I think they like take out a testicle and then they put in a fake testicle and you pump it up like a Reebok pump shoe.
I just want to say, science will find a way. We can't cure breast cancer. We can't cure AIDS.
Nope.
But we can give straight men inflatable dicks.
Too. Inflatable dicks. Yeah. It's ridiculously gross.
We can give men the ability to have sex whenever they want.
And y'all, he went out, he just got up while I was in the middle of watching this show. And I was like, Dad, I got to work. I can't go with you to see your friend. It's fine, son. I got it. And then I told my brother, I texted him, he's like, well, he's probably going to see beep. And I went, he's going to see that woman. Oh, it's somebody we don't care for. And then
someone who's 70 and has quote unquote cancer.
And so then because he is doing better, even though his chemo's not working. So we've got to get new chemo. So he's doing better now, but he won't be soon. So, but that's okay. We can find other stuff to help. And I go and I'm like pissed. And my brother said, we probably went to see her. So now I'm livid. I am livid dealing with this. And then I don't know where he is because then, I didn't tell you this earlier. He turned off his phone sharing that I have on his Apple phone. He turned off the location sharing.
He's like a child.
Yeah, acted like he didn't know anything about it. Turned it off. And then he came home 3 hours later and I found out because I called Scouts looking for him. He just went and had a hamburger.
Okay.
So that's fine. Why am I here? What are we talking about?
I was waiting till we get there. Please don't drink that much. We still have a show to do, and you get loopy.
It was stressful. But anyway, we're here, y'all. You quite like us when we go down under. You like it when we get down under.
So bad. We're covering Married at First Sight Australia.
And on our Patreon, you loved it. I'm saying it now. I haven't even announced it to Poodle. We will recap the finale at Married at First Sight Australia.
You're stuck. You're like literally stumbling over your words right now.
You just did too.
Shut up.
We are going to recap the last episode, and we'll tell you because
we will.
Y'all, there is some shit that goes down. There is one of our mods.
Kiss other people. They like
there's like cheating scandals this season. So we will do a wrap up. So that will be coming. So thank you. Speaking of someone who doesn't like someone who doesn't like to wrap it up, it's Brandon.
That is a nice transition.
Let's talk about. I don't think we have any other announcements, right? I think that's it for this week.
I want to say just a general note about the show this season.
Okay,
there is so much fucking filler that they are giving us. Maybe just switch to 1 hour.
It should either be a 1 hour show
or 90 minutes.
Or it should be 2 hours of 11 episodes.
Yeah, don't give us fucking 20 fucking episodes. Because
it feels like we're getting a lot of filler.
This was such a bullshit story. Episode.
Usually you know what? That's the reason. I hope they don't make them longer. But that's the reason why Darcy and Stacey and Smothered, those shows are so good because they're 10 episodes.
Yeah. I think it's much easier to sustain. You know where you're going. You don't have these filler episodes because this was totally a filler. Y'all, this is how let me explain to you the premise of the story of Brandon and Julia for this episode. Julia hasn't been feeling well. So immediately she's pregnant. We're not going to take a test, but we should maybe tell our mom and dad just to fuck with them.
Yeah.
And anyway, which I just can't I can't get past. Even like psycho parents can't get past it. Psycho dad's like, well, I think they would want to get a test before all this. So let's jump in.
Let's jump in. We do have a neat announcement. I just want to say, apparently y'all came at us on 90 Day Bears Hall. We swear we're going to watch some Discovery Plus and talk about it. We're working on those plans right now. Possibly
we will be covering it slightly.
We will. We're just trying to figure out how to do it and time. And we've got Summer House and that. Yolanda has a new man. Have you seen the picture of her new man?
Is this another catfish?
I'm familiar. He's real cute. As someone said, he kind of has like Ice Cube vibes.
Come on, though.
This picture says everything.
So they know each other in real life.
Yes, he's actually sitting beside her. She's sitting there with big eyes like, I suck his dick, I suck his dick, I suck his dick. And he's just sitting there like, yeah, she does. He's hot.
I don't know how I feel about you looking at news items when we're talking about the show.
It just popped up on my phone. It's a sissy in our Facebook group. Let us know. Y'all get in our Facebook group. We have fun in there.
Can you give our listeners our attention when we're doing this and not being on your phone?
Well, a thing shot up of a picture of Yolanda, and I have to admit, immediately I'm distracted.
My phone's across the room because I care.
No, that's because you forgot it.
Maybe. But I'm clued in. I'm clued into the moment. Can you be in the present?
No, Rodney. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I like butts. Shout out to Christina, Sissy Christina, our meme queen.
Meme
queen.
Yes. Yes.
That was real even for me.
Y'all, shout out to actually we do remember I just want to say shout out for Jordana and Jackie this week for killing it in our Facebook group and all the mods in there are doing a wonderful job.
Our whole mod squad, Jordana and Jackie.
They've been killing it this week, making it a great safe space. We appreciate them. Also, y'all, I'm nervous now. We're going to have either Jackie on the show soon from now on to someone to fact check us because Screen Rant
That's what I do.
No.
I'm supposed to.
You don't do a good job.
You know what? You're maybe right. I can't handle all your wrong facts.
Yeah. Like the slam dunks.
You know what? I miss things, but in general, I bet you I correct you 40 times an episode.
Well, all I'm saying is we were quoted in Screen Rant with the whole Brandon and Julia parent being swingers, and they said
trades.
They said, according to our source from Reality Gaze, and I went, oh my God.
That's not good.
That's not good. We're going to say shit.
If you work at Screen Rant, call us. We'll love to talk to you.
About what?
I don't know.
We're not a source. If you want news, go to 90 Day the Melanated Way.
Yeah, she's got all the news. I mean, we'd only heard that. We'd only heard that through some of our Instagram followers.
Yeah. And speaking of the Melanated Way, we are in
Linda
the works.
Confirmed it.
Linda did confirm it. We are working on doing something kind of regular with her because we had such a good time. So that's coming too. We've got a lot of stuff. Let's talk about these people.
That's where I was going until you interrupted me, but that's okay. Just drink your vodka, Shelby. So you guys, as I was saying, this is all filler. This is all full of sound and fury. This is all. So they're driving and she's like, I've been feeling, sick. And he's like, well, we should tell our parents that you might be pregnant. Y'all, no one does this. No one tells their parents they might be pregnant before they take a pregnancy test.
No one.
This is fake.
So
fake.
So speaking of sissies, because I'm even fine if we don't do blow by this because it's kind of whatever. But one of our sissies said, and I went, I never thought about this. As I'm watching this, I'm thinking this is 100% producer driven.
Yeah.
But one of our sissies says, I think Brandon's the type of guy, he likes fucking with his parents because he's a fucker. And this is a mind game for him because they listed examples of him doing this to Julia and kind of just always wanting to like dip his toe. And I thought, I think maybe there's some producer, but I think that possibly there could, because he does always seem to want to fuck with his parents, even when they tell them they're
other
pregnant.
Examples?
They didn't say I'm drinking. I didn't say.
I mean, I'm glad to listen. I just can't take one source we come up with and you.
You know, I've been quoted in Screen Rant. You should listen to me. Anyway, so they're driving down the highway and she thinks she's having a baby.
But she hasn't taken a pregnancy test, so don't come at us.
Don't turn around because you're not having a baby. God, I miss Smothered.
Hopefully it's going to come back in like April or May.
They're filming. I don't think so. They're filming now. So I think probably summer.
I need Smothered. So
I need a Libra man.
So anyway, I noticed something when I was giving these notes that I said. My note was, why does he want to tell parents about tests? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing all my notes like Julia speaks.
Like Julia.
Why does he want to tell parents about no test?
No test.
Why tell parents no?
He says, because they're using the pull-out method. And he said, well, I just want to tell my parents because he does.
He basically said my mom would know.
She would know if you're getting sick. And I'm like, so here's the deal.
Absurd.
It's not like she tells him that she's getting sick at home. Right. She tells him she's getting sick while they're driving in town. Like, y'all, any fucking 7-Eleven they could pull over at Texaco is going to sell a pregnancy test.
I don't know. No. I don't think convenience stores or gas stations would not sell a pregnancy test. No, they won't.
I don't know about women's stuff. You got to go to Walgreens, I guess.
Drugstores, yeah.
But still, there's a drugstore everywhere.
I think you're right. We know.
I mean, you could even go in Ardmore. You just go down to Harry Trudell's. That's a great pharmacy. Lone Grove Pharmacy. Trey, he'll set you up.
No one gives a shit.
I'm just saying, y'all tell him Matt sent you.
What, for all your all the VD medication?
Yeah.
So I want to say that the parents are sitting outside on the porch with the dog, and mom is like, Meddy's like, want to play a game? Want to play Jenga? Because there's nothing like porch Jenga. Y'all, when you need to tell your parents you might be pregnant, there's no better time than porch Jenga. So they're and the dad's like, yeah, let's set up it. Julia got me. You got me there. And she's like, Brandon's like, yeah, Dad, can we take a break for a minute?
Used car salesman, Dad. I'm telling you.
And then Julie's like, say and run. And they're like, well, we're thinking Julia's not been feeling well, and we don't really know, but we think she might be. And she's like, she's pregnant? And they're like, well, we don't know. And they're like, son, you need to take a pregnancy test.
And even Dad's like, why would you tell us this if you haven't taken a pregnancy test yet? And that's what makes me think, I kind of think he wants to fuck with them.
I just think this is dumb.
He just wants to say, Mom, Dad, pregnant.
Like Lacey says, when I'm pregnant
with Jane, baby.
Jane, you have given me a baby.
That's
our Lacey from Love After Lockup that we do. That I basically do as Droopy Dog because she doesn't move her lips.
But that's kind of the way she talks.
Jane. So anyway,
even Dad is like, this is bullshit.
They do decide to they do finally get a pregnancy test at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, you get a pregnancy test. Da-da-da-da-da-da. That actually kind of works with the theme.
Today you get a pregnancy test. Yeah. So they're sitting there waiting about the pregnancy.
Positive or negative, what will be the score at the end of the day?
Ding. So
We know Les Mis too well.
We do. So it turns out, then she tries to fuck with him. It's just, I don't think this is funny, y'all. I don't think it's funny to joke around about being pregnant, because so many people have had fertility issues, and it's not funny. And it's just it's weird. It's weird that they're joking about it. It's weird that they're fucking with their parents.
So you know what? I think it's weird that he's fucking with his parents. I don't think it's weird that they're kind of joking about it for them, because that is for each couple to decide how they want to talk about their pregnancy or not.
It feels like it would trigger other people.
No, it's going to be like the example I give. It feels weird when you know you're on a television show and you're not thinking of how other people are going to watch it. For instance, like with like my vaccine, one of my friends said, "Oh, did you post a picture of your vaccine?" I said, "No, because even though I got my second vaccination shot and I did it the right way, because I'm a caretaker in Oklahoma and I got on the list and I can do that, I didn't post it because I know, especially in Los Angeles, there's a lot of. It's not even about people coming for me. I'm not scared of people come for me. I don't fucking care what you think. I live my life.
But I'm saying it would,
but it's thinking of that there are people that in people of color, especially like the Latina Latinx population in LA, is getting decimated by this, and they're not getting the vaccines like they should be. And I was thinking about this the other day. One of my friends brought this up to me, and I never even thought about it. There's also this population of people that we just assume everybody has a smartphone and internet and they can book it online. But what do you do? So now there are places that are starting to set up stations for people that don't have internet. And so I don't mean this to be a pat on me. I'm a good person. I fucking say shit all the time. That's wrong.
You're not. Don't
I
worry.
say and post shit that's wrong all the time.
I'm
trying.
True. You're not
all the fucking time, but I'm trying.
You're not. You're a disaster.
I think but I didn't post all that because it's not about me, and it's not about me putting my privilege out. And so I think if it's fine for them to joke about how they want in their home, it's home talk. But when you're going to be on a show, and you know people are going to watch that, it's gross. I agree with you.
You mean you're talking about not a COVID vaccine, but the pregnancy test?
But the pregnancy, they know they're on a show. It's gross. Like, it's gross.
So anyway, they're like, "Mom and Dad, can we talk to you?" So they like knock on their door, like the parents are in their bedroom, like either scrapbooking or heavy petting or something. It was so weird.
Y'all, Brandon's parents are doing some freaky deaky shit in there. And you know it's bad when you have to sit and wait for your parents to come out of the room. And when they open the door,
they're tucking their shirt in.
No, but did you notice the lights were off? Who walks out of a dark room?
I think it was.
Who walks out of a dark room? I need you to answer that.
It was just also fake.
Who walks out of a dark room, Poodle? What are you doing if you're walking out of a dark room?
You're having fun. Although I'm more of a lights on kind of gal, so I really can't.
Me too. Look me in the eye when you spit in my face.
I want full white light. I need to see it all happening. Actually, I'm more of a mood lighting. I sometimes throw a scarf over a light.
I don't even know these things. Don't at all. Piano Cat 77.
You can't just have fluorescent lights beaming on you. No one's penis looks good with fluorescent lights.
That is a fair assessment. No one.
My body looks like mashed potatoes under a fluorescent light.
Instant mashed potatoes. Yes. Mine looks more like scallops. It looks just kind of cheesy. Don't ask. So, where are? Oh, so they're
telling the parents about the pregnancy. They're like, "So we need to tell you something. We took a test, and This is like the worst version of that pregnancy test commercial that was out for a while.
Yes.
They're like, "Mom and Dad, we have to tell you." And the parents are like, "Yeah." And Mom's like, No, this can't be happening to me. This can't be happening to me. Oh my God, Pa, no, Ron, what's going to happen? Throw myself against the wall. No, I'm never going to sleep at night. Oh my God. So, and then he gives it to Julia and she's like, we're not pregnant. And then mom's like, you
Oh,
almost
thank
killed me.
God. Who is going to feed the lamb tomorrow? Now, I will say, there's a meme going around of a bus driving down a street, and it's a bus with Mama Brandon driving the bus, and then Brandon standing by his dad, and it's like cartoons, and Brandon is throwing Julia in front of the bus with mom driving it. That is accurate because Brandon did.
He kind of does do that.
No, Brandon did. I mentioned this earlier. Brandon did fucking throw Julia under the bus because when they got pregnant, the parents basically said, like, you guys, this is why you should be using protection. And he was like, well,
did you say production?
Protection.
Oh,
and that, cause remember that's when and Brandon was like, well, I've tried preaching to her that she needs to go get.
Yeah, she doesn't want to take quote her word.
And thankfully,
for medicine.
For once, mom and dad are like, no, don't put it on her. It takes two people for this. But Brandon is such a gross. What is it?
Just man up and just like, I hate that term, but it's appropriate in this
or just
sense.
Adult up, human up.
But like, just wear condoms so you don't get her fucking pregnant.
It doesn't feel good.
I don't know.
So here's the deal. Here's what I'm asking. Name 3 things that are attractive about Brandon and why you would want to date him.
There aren't any. 0 for me.
Exactly.
I also think about, she could do things like they could, I'm not suggesting this, but if she wanted to, they could do like female condoms or anything. If she's opposed to taking birth control, no medicine, as she says, there's so many, she would never get an IUD. But like,
well, and a lot of women have had problems with IUDs.
Right.
Too.
But like, it's kind of like the idea of him, she would just say, how about we're not having sex unless you wear a condom? But he even says about her, she doesn't like condoms either. I don't know if he's speaking for her.
I don't know if he's speaking for her. I thought that too. He said that this episode. I went, does she really not?
It would track with her, I don't like medicine kind of thing. I don't think she's also the most responsible person.
Possibly.
So,
but yeah.
I don't want to say that he's the only one being irresponsible here. She is too.
Let's move on to another winner. Can we talk about Jovi?
God damn, they just hit us with it, don't they?
Jovi, and she sometimes treats him like shit, but I love Yara. I love Yara.
I don't care because I feel like he's so awful. I
love her. This is what Yara needs to do. Yara needs to leave him and come have that baby with 2 gay men. It's like my 2 dads, but Yara having the baby, and that's the life she needs to have.
I feel like as soon as she left Jovi, we'd realize how much of a princess she is, and we wouldn't want to deal with her either.
Oh, I wasn't talking about us. I don't want her to live with us.
But I'm saying anybody. But I think
that's true. Yara, she's high maintenance as fuck.
I think if Yara was with anyone but Jovi, we'd be talking about how Yara was such a princess.
Yara alludes in the cab while they're on the way to this engagement party that it took her 3 hours to get ready. Y'all, I used to be
flawless though. God, her makeup is good.
I used to be a makeup artist. You can do that in an hour.
But she
an hour and a half, maybe. 3 hours to do your makeup, honey. Having a baby is going to be a rude awakening.
That's a professional thing. I just called you a professional. I'm going to take that back.
I wanted you to relish in that.
What was that?
Relish. You know what? I'm fine on my Smith works.
Your vodka. Don't drink anymore. I need you to stay at least comprehensive.
You know what? I need a little bit of ice, so we should probably take a commercial break. And y'all, we're gonna refill our cups. You refill yours, and we'll see you in a hot second. Y'all, we're back.
Tell me it's fine.
Poodle is upset because I went to
Drink
get
with me.
ice for my drink, and my father said, Matt, come here. And he's going to bed. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? I walk in there and I said, Dad, what's up? And he's watching The Wall, that game show with like Chris Hardwick. And he said, why do guys slick their hair back like that and look like vampires? And you know what? I said, Dad, I agree. I don't like it when men just slick their hair back that they look like vampires. I said, Dad, do we have the same taste in men? And he went, oh God, Matt.
Speaking of the same taste in men,
you know what I want?
Jovi and Yara.
Jovi, I think it would be a really good exercise. We have a spare bedroom. Maybe you should come and stay with me for like a month. You could bring a keyboard. You could teach in here. And you could experience Oklahoma for like a good month.
That's not going to happen. Why would I want to go out into butt fucking Egypt?
Aunt Peggy would cook for you every day. She brought over a pot roast tonight.
That sounds
great.
like a fucking nightmare. I already have to go to butt fucking Egypt when I have to go home to South Carolina. Right. Why would I want to go to Oklahoma?
And Darla would love to see you.
Would I be asking for a gay bashing?
That's fair.
I mean, honestly.
All right, let's talk about Jovi and Yara.
So they're going to the engagement party that Yara has been told is a couple of people, but Mama Jovi, who did that? We go down to the bayou and have a good old and let's say bon temps roulette.
I'm going to say
people have said
something.
That it's very accurate.
No one has said that. Like not one person has said it.
People did say it made them laugh. That's been said.
That's been said. I will say the people at the party
I know.
Do talk like that, and you are correct in impersonating me.
Thank you. I was just doing the ridiculous.
When you do it right, I'll say it. Jovi's Gwen doesn't speak like that.
I'm going pretty far.
But there are
like,
people,
Jovi, you go good boy, shot.
Yeah, some of these people at the party, I was like, I need subtitles for these.
Straight
people.
out of the bayou. Yeah.
Anyway, so they're on the way to party. She's still angry because y'all. This is my question to you, Poodle. Yara's upset that he didn't bring her anything. He's upset that she didn't bring him any food. What is Yara upset about, really? What is this under?
She's upset because she's not getting the attention she needs. Exactly. And she's pregnant with his child. Here's the thing. Her pregnancy for him is going to feel like a real drag because it always needs to be about Jovi. And for Yara, it always needs to be about Yara.
I think that's a good distinction because he needs to be more supportive of his pregnant fiance. But at the same time, y'all, let's call a spade is a spade. And when a spade is high maintenance, they're high maintenance. Yara is high maintenance.
She is. And, but just, I think reaching across the aisle a little to her would really help.
Cards, isn't it? When you say a spade is a spade, it's about cards.
It has an organ. That's why
you made a face.
That's why I made a face.
Cards? Is it not about deck of cards?
No, it has racist implications. That's why I made a face.
Well, I'm going to leave this in because I did not know that, and I deeply apologize for that. You made a face, and I was like, "What? Did I say something wrong?"
I was going to tell you to take it out later.
No, we're going to keep it in because y'all. I did not know. I am so sorry. I did not. I will Google that. You don't need to ask your black friends to educate you. I'm going to Google that and find out why that's fucking racist. But I could tell by Poodle's face. It was the same type of face when a guy opens the door and they're not hot. And they sent Poodle a huge dick pic. It's like, what's he going to do?
I make this face all the time when he says something that is just like, oh my, my.
I thought that was about playing cards. I apologize. Apparently, it's not.
What would you think it would be about? But when
you're playing spades, it's cards. I loved playing spades. I played them at arts camp. That's what I thought it would be about. I had no idea.
I got it from Code Switch. when they were talking about it, the podcast Code Switch.
What does it mean?
It's
Or are
basically
we not enough to educate.
Well, the problem is it's not the etymology. The etymology is a problem. Is called this or this, and it's this.
What does etymology mean? I've been drinking.
Etymology is the origin of the phrase.
Okay.
But it's actually ancient Greek. However, because spade is such a code for a person of color. You've heard that. You've obviously heard that, right?
I'm so sorry I said that. No, I've never heard that.
Really?
I've never heard a black person called a spade. That's disgusting.
That's surprising, but that's
I
unfortunate.
did not know that. Y'all, I'm keeping this in because hopefully you learn. Oh my God.
Y'all, if you could see my face that I'm having to explain this right now. But the original etymology is not necessarily bad. It is the way the word spade has been taken in popular culture to refer as a racial slur to a black person.
Well, y'all can come at me if you're upset. I apologize.
It's okay. We already know you have issues.
Or not about that. Maybe we don't say that I have. No, I don't. Thank you.
I'm joking.
Well, anyway. So I'm not saying that anymore. So when you just call a queen, can we say that? She's a queen.
Still feels iffy to me.
You know, when we call a bitch, but that's not about Jovi. That's about you.
All right. I admit I'm a bitch.
It's true. But she's high maintenance. That's the whole point in all of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, but the way things are filmed and produced, he just comes off like a complete and utter asshole. Now, she does kind of talk to him roughly at times, and this is what I'm saying.
Not kind of. She's
if
pretty
this
rough
wasn't
on him.
Jovi, we would think, why is Yara so abusive? I promise you, Yara would be like the villain of the season.
Even as concerning as like Mike is, if it was Mike and Yara, we still would be like, wow, Yara's really going in on him.
But Jovi's so awful.
He's so just
and
useless.
The one thing I will say is maybe that's how these two talk to one another. But for some reason, when it comes out of his mouth, it feels even more demeaning than when she says it. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm more sensitive to how men talk to women that way because it feels very demeaning to me. Even when she says, "You're such a fucking idiot," which bothers me.
You should not say that to someone.
Yeah, which bothers me.
You should not say that one.
But the way I think it's his privilege in the relationship because she's kind of there at the servant of his privilege. So that maybe it's the power dynamic in the relationship that bothers me because she knows no one in the country except for him. And he holds all the cards.
I think, and this is crass, and so I don't mean it to demean her. I'm saying this is his thinking, not what I think. I honestly just think he thinks of Yara as hot pussy. I don't even think he loves her. I really don't think he does.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but for someone like Jovi, this is as close as he gets to forever.
But he thinks this is someone who's going to be hot for a long time and like will be a trophy. Like that's how I think he thinks of her as like a trophy wife.
No, I would only correct you in saying he thinks this is the hottest he's going to get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think. And so he is settling down with the hottest girl he thinks he's going to get. And he might as well because he's getting too old. And then he would have to marry some other. He's older. He's older. He's 30-ish, which is for a man who is raised in where he grew up is old to get married. Because they were saying Jovi's never going to get married before. So now he knows, even though he feels that, even though at 30-something, he feels that he needs to get married right now. And this is the time he's chosen to do it. He's still a man boy, and that's still a problem. He still has a job that takes him out of the country every month or so.
Yeah.
So I for me, and this is I'm just saying this, and this is not going to be nice to all points of view here. For me, if I was getting to know someone and kind of forming a relationship, especially if I was pregnant, this job of his would be a non-starter. I would say, absolutely not. This is not going to happen with me. This is not how we're going to do pregnancy.
Hold on. I want you to close your eyes.
I don't like it when you do this.
I want you to imagine that you're in a new city, like let's say New Orleans, and you're with someone and they are your love interest, and they tell you, hey, I'm going to be with you for a month.
No.
And then I'm going to have to go away for a month, and I'm not going to be around you, and I'm not going to be able to know what you're doing at all.
No, that would be a fucking thrill. But I'm saying she's pregnant.
Oh, because she's pregnant.
That's what I said.
So it's that factor.
Yeah.
Think about it though. What if you?
Oh no, it's the best opportunity ever.
What if you could be an influencer and then just have a nanny watch the baby while they're gone for the month?
But that's not real. But
that's what
the fact that he's not going to be to support
that's really
her
hard. Really hard.
And I would just
and
have
her
to
mom's not
say,
there, or her parents. Like she's going to have to. She's going to. They either need to honestly, like the first 6 months this baby there, try to get one of her mother or aunts there to be with her, or she's going to have to really become close with Gwen.
We'll
see how that goes.
So they're dancing, and she's basically, you guys, he's bombed. He's already bombed when he gets to the party.
Y'all, I know this look because Poodle Boudreaux has come to my house in an Uber already with half glazed eyes, barely open.
I actually think this is more like you because you get handsier than me.
Oh, that is not true.
No, you get really handsy. I'm not handsy when I've been drinking.
Yeah, but you get that look on your face where it looks like your face is made out of wax and your eyelids are melting because you're so drunk.
Maybe.
And you know what? Maybe I get a little handsy.
You get really handsy, and you'll do things in public in front of people that are very embarrassing.
I don't anymore now that I have a boyfriend. But y'all, when I was single, if you got drunk with me, and straight or gay, I'm going to feel your dick.
It was gross. It's actually, and
you know what? They enjoyed it. It was all consensual.
We had to keep you away from certain people.
It was all consensual.
You had no idea what we did behind the lines to keep you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like grabbing her ass and the dance, and people are watching, and she's like, "Stop it! This is embarrassing."
First of all, too, do you do a dance at an engagement party?
It was weird.
It's like, and they had a cake and all. I'm like, this isn't a wedding reception. It's just an engagement party.
For an engagement
party, you serve hors d'oeuvres and cocktails.
No. This is his mother's wedding for him. That's what I'm saying.
This is the wedding because she is not going to get the wedding she wants.
She's not going to get the wedding she wants for
oh
Jovi.
My God.
Why? How did you not see that?
I didn't. I was dealing with my dad going and chasing off women.
This is his mother's wedding reception. So he gets she's looking at them dancing. She's like, watching them dancing. I can see they in love, Shaw. And I'm like,
geek your fucking ass, Jovi.
That sounds like love talk to me.
I hate you, Jovi. I hate you so much.
She does say that. She says, I hate you. And then
she's
Jovi's like, she's crazy as fuck.
She's not happy. Somebody sent us on Instagram a meme of where they recorded Jovi and Yara, but they put that Instagram filter that puts eyelashes and red lipsticks on. And I have to say, Jovi looks so beautiful in drag.
He looks gorgeous. And I will say, I have gotten your messages. I know that some of you think that he looks like me. A little bit.
Who?
More than one person.
No.
I kind of, you know what it is? We have noses that protrude and we have full lips.
I don't see it.
But no, I'm saying that more than one person has said it.
All right.
Especially when I have full full hair like he does.
Don't talk about yourself so much. Nobody likes to hear about your hair.
I just said,
wow. He just used this as an excuse to talk about his full luscious hair. Because yes, everyone, he does. He is a man at 55 that has full luscious hair.
And you're 52, 53, coming right up behind me. So anyway, Yara's like, I'm not having fun. And they basically say, we need to tell your parents that we're, and Jovi's like, fine, I'm bomb. Let's tell my parents.
Let's go ahead.
And he's like, so you ready for some news? She's pregnant. And Mother Jovi goes, oh, shit, this is the best news I ever heard, child. Oh, I'm going to call Lucille down at the bayou. We're going to talk.
That's not exactly how that went down.
It basically was.
However, she was excited and I was impressed. I did not think she would be excited. Did you?
I did.
I did not think
patriarchal
she would be
culture.
excited.
I can't say that. Patriarchal culture. Babies are a welcome thing for all women.
And that's true. And she probably hopes it's a boy to carry on lineage.
Yes. Oh, yes. You just drown the girls in the river.
All right. Okay. Wow. All right. Right. But Gwen's like, best news of the night. And Yara said, yeah, I'm glad we told them. I think it went well. And then
they're
even
happy.
Yara,
Both
they're
of them are
talking.
happy.
And Yara, he says, Dad calls her something. She's like, you can call me daughter already. And they laugh. And that's the deal. I think I know Yara, the way she looks, she can be really high maintenance. She can be Instagram self-absorbed, unless she's just really super aware that the camera's on her. But I don't think that. I think Yara's I think she's in a way, oddly, this kind of down to earth. I think she's a good person.
I'm not saying she's not a good person. I'm saying she's a born actress. And I'm saying
I do think that
everything on the camera, every interview, every confessional is not necessarily rehearsed, but it is to tell a story.
But I think in a good way, like I think she has good comedic timing. I think she's
agree
funny.
With you. I'm saying,
and I think though when I see her interactions with other people that are less rehearsed, I get an authenticity from her that I think that like you and I could sit down at like even an Applebee's and she would bitch about the mozzarella sticks, but she would eat them all and we would have a good time.
I think she's a lot like a lot of Russians and Ukrainians that I know. They're super direct.
She
super
reminds
to the point.
me of the people we knew that were piano players. And you knew way more than me.
And they are super to the point, direct. Their sarcasm, they lead with sarcasm always.
But they also are who they are.
Yeah. But I want to say, this is someone who is performing. I guarantee you she actually does love Jovi.
You think that?
I do think so. I do think so.
Do you think
so.
they
something.
goaded her to be so negative or to be so gripey
I don't know if it
him?
was even producers' choices. I think that's how they behave with one another. And
that
the
is true. I think that is what gets them off on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have good sex. They do.
It really goes down to. I think the problem is it just clicked. They are the perfect example of you attract your pattern, and Yara attracts people that she can berate.
Yes.
And Jovi attracts people where he's always the bad guy.
Yes.
And I think that because
he needs to feel like the dog.
He needs to feel like the dog because there's a part of Jovi, if you really talk to him, he gets off on it. And there's a part of him that always has probably felt a little like shit, but that's his normal. His normal is to feel bad about himself.
He needs
and to
be
feel like
shamed.
he's fucking up. And he needs to be like, I bet you if Yara came home and said, I want to tie you up and put a ball gag in your mouth, Jovi would do it. And be
something like that, yeah.
And be like,
no,
not that that's what S&M work is fully about. It's not about shaming. I mean more of I've never done S&M work, but I mean that he would
amateur.
Wow. That just shut me up. Let's move on.
Wow. I would just
Piano
say that
Cat does some freaky deaky shit, y'all.
You better have your Bitcoin. Ain't nothing gonna happen without Bitcoin.
Piano Cat 77, y'all, coming at you live.
But I think you're right in that they have decided how their relationship is going to be. I think there's some weird sense of contentment, even though you guys and we think, oh, he's so abusive, blah blah blah. She's so dismissive of him. That's how they want it.
That is how they want it.
And I will say
they co-created this, and this is their creation. Yep.
Right. And I don't know if I can feel sorry for either of them. For this,
I agree with that.
It's hard to watch him talk to her.
Well, I feel a little more sorry that she's pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. That's the biggest issue.
But if we're talking about Brandy and Julia, it takes two people and two people's actions to get. That's what I said.
Brandy, you said Brandy.
I said Brandon.
We'll go to the tape, Marcus.
Sammy, go to the tape. But what was I talking about? I don't
exactly.
Y'all, Smith
drinking too much.
Coming in hard.
I hate you,
y'all. I had a hard day.
I'm gonna try to get this train back on track.
What was the song we sang about the dick train?
Oh, come on, ride the dick train. That dick train's gonna go into the tunnel. Way, oh, dick train. Gonna get to the tunnel. Tunnel. You don't think a tunnel opening is gonna be big enough, but the dick train's gonna make it. It's gonna build that track on the tunnel, dick train.
Dick train, whoop, whoop.
I don't know what that is, but I really enjoy doing it.
There's something that's like ASMR about it to me. It's very calming.
Ride the dick train. Anyway, so basically he's saying stuff like he's left her alone. He's saying stuff like, well, his friends are like, you're a married man. He's like, not yet. So
not yet. Let me drink a beer.
And I will say, for a girl who was in Jovi's social circle and who he grew up with, would that kind of girl would say, yeah, he's going to go off. We're going to have our own hen party over here. That was what she would do.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's what I wrote.
And Yara, but for Yara, because she knows no one.
She knows no one, and she
doesn't have the same cultural perspective.
She doesn't know the societal separation of men and women in the South. I think y'all, even if you live in the North, even in California, it's different. People have bridal things together. When you're in the South,
no,
the men and the women separate, and it's the hen party and the cock party. That is exactly what it is, and it's stupid.
And this comes from two little gay boys who would always go in the kitchen and talk to the women. And that's what I got accused of doing all the time.
That's a read, and that just wow. Boy, you just took me back.
Yeah. I tried to spend time with the men, but I always wound up in the kitchen with the women.
Thinking of being in the cock party makes me anxious.
Yeah, because you're having to play something. You're having to say something that you don't have enough collateral to say. And you're just listening and trying and hopefully trying to fit in. And I can see it so well. But the women, they would ask you things and you would just listen. You could listen to what they were saying.
I think it's the way we talk about this show and how we just move through the world. I think why we connect with women is you and I that's what I appreciate about women, because women get to the root of the conversation and talk to the heart of the conversation. And I feel like men, I feel sorry for a lot of straight men because I feel like a lot of their conversations are surface level and they never really get to talk about the real stuff that's going on. And I learned that a lot in the kitchens of where I was in.
I disagree that women get to the root of it. I think that everything is coded in a more specific way. Everything's coded in a more emotional way. But I think it's just as coded as what the men are saying. It's just not as deep.
I wasn't talking about just from when we were a child. I'm talking about women now, too, in my life. I'm sorry. I was kind of segueing to the conversations I have with women now are way more authentic.
Yes, I thought you were talking about...
sorry, that was confusing.
In the South.
But I was just talking... But I think the genesis of that came from, even back then, they were coded, but they felt more emotional and present than the men conversations.
I will say this.
Because y'all, I just want to say this. Coming back to Oklahoma, I realized I've never been around so many men who only can talk about sports.
Yeah.
That's all they talk about.
I want to say that here, the straight men in my life, and there's at least 4 to 5.
One.
But
his trainer, y'all, that's it.
My trainer and maybe a couple clients. But they are very different than the straight men I grew up with.
Y'all, if you want a sensitive, emotional straight man, move to California.
I will say.
Move to LA. You'll get it.
The straight men are more sensitive than I am. Saying something.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. But I think I agree with you to an extent that
but it's crazy. You saying just those conversations in the kitchen, like, I mean, that like was
takes me back too.
That brought me back. To just,
I also want to say that the conversations I have with either women or straight men, I think in Los Angeles, I think they're very similar. But you're right that women will show you vulnerability a little more freely than straight men will. But I find that if I just push, maybe this is just me as an educator and as someone who's a coach, I will push that and then I will get an answer or I will get an access to something.
Well, you and I are
that's
different.
Me.
No, but no, I relate to that just being a therapist because you always would shame me and say, you ask such probing questions, but I do ask probing questions.
Well, they pay me to do it. So,
but I'm a voyeur and I am that person that will have a conversation with the man who will talk about his life. But I do it
in a way that's not invasive like you do.
I do it in a way that makes people feel heard.
Oh, come on. No, you're always asking inappropriate things.
You know what?
He'll ask inappropriate things in the grocery store line.
You know what? I'm a shame-free space.
Nothing
is shameful.
You just tried to shame me. So you can push it out.
You're different. You're a whore. You know what? So am I. We're all whores. You're all whores, and I'm proud of it.
Let's move on. You're drinking. You're drunk.
Not at all.
So basically, y'all, Jovi's bombed. He's
really bombed.
His eyes can't even focus.
Yeah.
They are. They're basically. She walks outside. She goes, Jovi, you forgot about me. You're drunk. You only want your fucking alcohol.
I will say
here,
we got to remember they know they're on television. She is doing one of the worst things a woman can do to a man, especially in the South. She's emasculating him and shaming him and making him feel like he is not a man.
And that is the worst thing to do to him.
I'm not saying that, but I think she's calling him on his bullshit, which is great. But I'm just saying, as a trigger for Jovi, this is like, I bet when Jovi's mother watched this and father, I bet you they got really pissed at her.
Because she's not being passive aggressive; she's just being aggressive.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And because that's her, that's how she handles situations.
Yes.
And it would be okay her talking to him like this if it wasn't in front of cameras. So he's going to respond dismissively and say, trying to play for the cameras. Yeah. Welcome to pregnancy, y'all. And say that like makes a joke her lose her fucking mind.
Y'all,
and I don't blame her.
I don't blame her. I would do that too. And so she even says, she says, like, you think I'm the girl that I deserve someone better. She was like, I'm beautiful. I'm intelligent. She's like, and she's right. She's right about everything she's saying. She said, she basically says, when you get married, you're going to need me and not your alcohol. And then my favorite line she said, I am not going to cry about you. I am not going to cry about you and a man who doesn't respect me. I will. And that is true. He knows that she will move the fuck on, move back home and have her baby and be fine without him.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure that she would do that. Could do that. She could do that. I'm not saying she does. I'm just saying she could.
Here's the thing. They're in love. I know it doesn't seem like that.
She does love him. She's in
love with him. So it would be really hard for her to. She talks big. So does he.
Talkers. Yeah.
I still think this is blown up over proportionally for the camera. This is an overproduced storyline. We already know. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. They're married. They have a child. Or they have a child.
I do think it's a bit overblown, but at the same time, it is really difficult to think because I think why people don't like Jovi because y'all, when you're drunk,
how many reasons?
When you're drunk, though, you're not acting. The inhibitions are gone, and Jovi is still a fucking prick when he's drunk.
No, I totally agree, but I'm saying she's overdoing it, and he's just responding.
And the producer even says, "How are you feeling about hearing this?" And he says, I don't want to hear it. And she's like, fine, then you can go.
And he walks away.
I'm over it, and he walks away.
He walks away.
I'm walking away, you're a winner. Kathy Mattea, that's on the Maddie's Honkin' Tonkin' mix on Spotify.
You know, I have never mentioned my mixes that I made on Spotify as much as you are.
They're really good.
I think they are too, but I just don't plug them the same way you do.
But it's not plugging. It's reminding people that they are out there because you know what? I don't think you have confidence in yourself to talk about these things.
You know what I do? I just was brought up to say it's okay to talk about it a little bit, but then like no one really cares.
I think that's your own shit. And I mean that in a loving way because I think that if you don't talk about your stuff, then who's going to talk about it? And how are people going to know about it?
I agree. I just don't want to belabor things.
You know, I want you to bring this up every episode now. Y'all got to listen to the Poodles Glitter Club Fuck Me mix. What's it called again?
There's like 3 mixes. I did the Gay Club Glitter mix.
Poodles Gay Club Glitter mix.
Then there's the Keep Going Queen mix.
Oh.
Yeah,
really?
That's what I'm saying. I've made...
See, but here's what I'm saying. I didn't even know there's a Keep Going Queen mix because you never talked about it and I didn't know about it.
I did talk about it. I did talk about it.
You barely mentioned it. So you guys, you have to mention
barely
things.
mention is being on 2 shows.
You have to mention things. This is fact. And with like Kickstarter and all that, you have to mention things 7 times before people click on it and actually hear it. Y'all take that in.
Can you just do that
7
for
times.
me then? I'm just too modest.
No, you're just too lazy.
That is not true.
Poodles keep going. You know what? You're not lazy.
I am not
You're
lazy.
anything but lazy. You're right.
And I'll be honest. I'm super self-conscious about mentioning
this
things
is
that
what
I
I'm
do.
saying. I want you to get out of this. I want you to share yourself.
Can we not do your therapy session for me on
I just think you're worth it, and you're one of the most unique individuals I know, and I wish you would share yourself more with the world.
I'm sharing myself with the world on this fucking podcast.
I just read you for filth. Let's move on.
I just get berated every fucking time. Anyway,
I just want you to be you.
He leaves. Trust me, I'm pretty fucking you. I'm pretty fucking me right now. You guys, we're gonna talk about Stephanie and Ryan next, and
in a way, yeah,
we're really not gonna talk about what happened on this episode. If you want a recap of what happened, you can go to the internet or anything like that, or Vulture's thing. We're really
we don't know what other shows are doing, so maybe we're just
gonna address one thing. TLC basically, without even a trigger warning, without even anything,
nothing,
basically gave us a sexual assault on television. and this is a phenomenon called. Let's just discuss what happened. First of all, we saw in the last episode when Stephanie was yelling at Ryan, "You leave." Blah, blah, blah.
We should say before we get to, you guys, this is a trigger warning about sexual assault. This is the last thing we're talking about on this episode. So if you're triggered by this and don't want to hear it, just skip.
Move on.
You can check us out on part 2. We'll see you later. RealityGazepodcast.com if you need more info.
So basically, she says he left, and she said, "I can't believe that just happened." He basically said they were talking about using condoms, and she said, "I need some lubricant." She
brought the glow-in-the-dark condoms. Remember,
yes.
She brought all of those for him.
He said, "Don't you know I don't have a condom on." And now, so
they were having sex.
That's called stealthing, you guys.
It's called stealthing.
It's a phenomenon called stealthing. And
I've done some research in this. It's happened a lot in the queer community, which is really abhorrent that there's stealthing of where you take a condom off and like give someone HIV or like that. So that
or in the other in the heterosexual community, it's where you stealth to get someone pregnant. Or you poke holes. It's reproductive abuse. You poke holes in a condom, or take off a condom or something like that.
I just want to be clear. You knew about this, right?
I did.
Right? I did not know about this. So I'll be honest. When I watched the Stephanie and Ryan segment, I didn't see that. It wasn't until I talked to Poodle.
Like, how are we going to do this?
He was like, wait, did you not realize this is sexual assault? And I'm saying that to be honest, because I think a lot of sissies in our Facebook group, a lot of people are clearly triggered by it. But then there were a lot of sissies who were like, what?
What's the problem?
I didn't even know this was. Clearly, this is the episode where Matt knows nothing. Because I don't know about fucking spay. I don't know about any of this shit. But
that's all of them. Don't worry.
But I think that's the beauty in this, y'all. If you don't know, don't get defensive and say, well, I didn't know. Just say, oh, I didn't know, and then learn.
And then listen.
Learn and make a choice and listen.
Listen first, then learn.
And Google. And Google.
Because Google's your motherfucking friend.
It's your friend.
What I want to say is what happened after that was Stephanie basically said, he told me there was no condom. And we've never used condoms, and she said,
they haven't used condoms in the past.
And I want to say,
she hasn't been with him for 10 months.
And I want to say,
she wanted to use a condom.
This is an issue of consent.
It is.
And there are
whether you're with someone or not, and there's for a long time. No, I'm just clarifying for you.
I know there are so many layers of consent here, and the first layer of consent is like, can I touch you? The second layer of consent is, how are we going to proceed in this? So then we get the layer of consent is let's have sex. And then it is the next layer of consent is, are we going to use protection? And that seeming to Stephanie, that was implied that, yes, we were going to use condoms. She asked him about it. And then she said, is there lubricant? And he said, there's no condom on. We've never used condoms. So that's actually a form of sexual assault. This is stealthing.
Yeah,
so
that's stealthing.
Just for clarity, that's why there's nothing funny about this. And unfortunately, Stephanie is not our favorite person this season. I personally enjoy making fun of her accent. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And I want to say, because I think some people I'm using the word conflate this. Y'all, I think Stephanie's a horrible person. I think she's sexual tourist. I think she takes black men like they're tokens for her to have. I think she's a piece of shit. And that said, that does not give us any reason to sex shame her or to say that her sexual assault was deserved.
Yeah,
or that
it was accidental, or she should have known it was happening. And this is the thing.
We can separate those things.
Right.
She can be that gross person, and that has nothing to do with consensual sex and stealthing. It has nothing to do with
and
that.
we were running into the fact that people were saying, what is she on because she was on? Obviously, she's impaired.
She doesn't seem like she has a drug addiction.
There is no doubt she's been impaired from the beginning. That is no reason to blame her for her actions or to blame her for that the assault is quote unquote her fault. So please do not explain that away. We believe women. If she says there was an assault, there was an assault. This was stealthing. She was obviously upset about it. And that's kind of the end of things as where we see them.
Yeah. And so kind of now she does, just so y'all know, she says she ends up calling Harris. And which I see both sides of that. And a part of me thinks that's gross that she called Harris. But then another part of me thinks that makes me sad for her because she was just sexually assaulted. So she wanted someone to connect with her. But it is weird when she calls Harris because he answers it. He's like, "How are you, baby?" Like he's talking to her as if he's dating her. And so we know that she is going to meet Harris next episode. So what we have chose to do in this episode is we're not going to talk about Stephanie and kind of the ongoings of what happened. What's going to happen next episode? We don't know because again, we're separating this, y'all. So this whole thing of her being her sexual assault, we're not addressing that. We don't want to replay that. We're not making fun of that. In next episode, if that's not brought up and it's about her and
we can talk about something fun.
Yeah, if it's about her and Harris and her being really weird and awkward with Harris and taking advantage of him as a sexual tourist, well, we're going to make fun of her for that, and that's separate. But we just want to clarify, because it sucks for Stephanie, but she did agree to be on a reality TV show. And so this is happening. Yes, this is happening to her, and she didn't ask for it, but she is on reality TV. So it's different than like a normal lay person who's experiencing this. But we just want to honor women.
Yeah.
And
believe women, you guys.
It's actually what I've learned from this. I am shook at how many women I know that have been stealthed in my life.
Yeah.
It's really
I've never really said this, but it happened to me before. It's happened to me before.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's happened to me before when someone said,
"You had sex with a woman?"
Please don't make this funny.
No, that's what we do. When it's about you, I can make it funny.
But no, it happened to me before.
This really happened with a guy?
Yeah.
And he didn't wear a condom?
I realized it was off, and I called him out on it. This has been years ago, before I was on prep, obviously.
But just Jake saying that story gives me anxiety because I know what it's like of you. I just know the fact of what it's like. Oh my God, I have it. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you. But it felt when it happened, it felt not even that I wasn't as freaked out about, oh my God, do I have HIV now, as everyone was in the kind of like late 90s, mid 2000s. But it was more of, I can't believe someone did that to me. I can't believe someone disabused my trust, and lied to me and made me a fool. That was my biggest issue.
Well, I just want to say for you and other women, I want to say you were not a fool. You were not a fool. People that are stealth are not a fool. Stephanie is a fool for other reasons, but she's not a fool that Ryan stealthed her.
And I know that. But
no. But I want to.
This episode was triggering for me.
But I want to say that's what abusers do.
Right?
Is they make you feel stupid when you did nothing wrong.
Exactly.
And that's for any listeners out there. If you have been in this situation and you've been sexually abused,
know that
you've done nothing wrong.
I know that, but it still made this. I mean, I was watching and my face got hot when it happened.
Wow, you saved this for the show? You didn't tell me that.
No.
This just kind of came up.
My face got hot as I was watching. And then I remembered it. It's not that I repressed it or anything like that, but I thought it didn't really matter. And then I was thinking about it afterwards. And it wasn't even the fact that he had endangered my physical health, but it just kind of like fucked me up for that time of being so betrayed.
Well, I feel like it makes people feel when you were stealthed. I'm imagining it makes you feel like you are not considered human.
Yeah,
or
and you had no power, and you had no agency over your body.
And that you're just a whole like. And I want to say that is not. You're a bitch, but I love you, and you're a human and a beautiful human.
But no, I appreciate that.
But who deserves to be
I want everyone
deserves love and truth.
I want everyone to hear that happens. It's not something you have to be okay with. It's not something that you need to not talk about, because I think it's more important that we talk about all this stuff. Because that way you don't feel alone. That being said, I think instead of giving some kind of judgment on this, let's end the show and say, you guys, if you're a victim or you think you might be a victim of sexual assault, stealthing, anything like that, we want you to go to the website of RAINN.
Yes.
Rape, assault, incest national network. That will give you some support.
I just want to say it's RAINN. It's not
two N's.
It's two N's. RAINN.org, I believe.
I'll
look it up, but we used to use it a lot when I worked.
It is .org. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Sadly, when I worked at the Trevor Project, or volunteered there, we referred RAINN so much for so much incestual things as well. So yeah, you can definitely go to RAINN.org. Then they
have a hotline as well.
They have a hotline. You can get help 24/7. They also have a live chat. It's 1-800-656-HOPE, which is 4673. We highly recommend those numbers. And we also really want to say that if this brought up stuff for you, we love the Sissy Squad. We love that we have fun in there, and that's a supportive group as well. That is not a mental health support group. It's a Facebook group where we talk about if we're going to see Andre's dick one day, and we talk about people on 90 Day Fiancé. God willing. So it's not the place for you to say, hey, I realized I was stealthed. I need support. You need to go to RAINN.
Go to RAINN.
Something like that is a much better, safer place for you to do that. So, so I'm sad that we had this conversation. I'm also proud we had to have
I'm proud that
we had to have this conversation. And again, it makes me want to beat the shit out of somebody who did that to you.
That is sweet.
Ooh.
Thank you.
The Mars coming out in me. I'll fucking slash their tires.
I just want to be able to say, Toy can eat my ass.
2020 can eat our ass.
I want to be able to do that because, goddamn, we just need to laugh in this world.
That is a problem with this show, I will say, with 90 Day Fiancé, is that
this fucking
and
season.
We do not agree to that. 90 Day Fiancé has taken advantage of abusive situations like
with
Jeffrey.
No trigger warning at all.
With no trigger warning.
None.
And also they use it for ratings, and that's gross to me. And I wish they would take responsibility and either, instead of making this entertainment, make it either a learning moment or cut it from the show.
It is
entirely.
called the fucking Learning Channel, after all. TLC.
What have we learned, bitches?
I would love to, if anybody's in Matt Sharp's office or at TLC, we would love to talk with you about this.
Seriously,
or the concept about
no
this.
one is listening, but I would love to talk to them.
Just because I want to know what you think your responsibilities are. And maybe you don't think, maybe you're there just to present it almost as documentary style footage.
Maybe it is because, Jake and I overthink so much about, we're not even famous. We're not even famous.
We are not.
We don't even have tons of listeners, but yet we think about what we put out into the world and
how it affects people
and what we put out into our Facebook group. And we really try, again, like Renee, I just had a sissy in the Facebook group. I said, we kind of had a bobble on the Facebook post that got approved that we realized was inappropriate. And I said, this wasn't a good thing for us to post, but we're trying to be better. And it made me feel so good that the sissy said, you can be right or you can try to get it right. You're just trying to get it right. And we're trying to get it right. And sometimes with these people at Matt Sharp, I'm like, are you trying to put out something that helps empower people to be better in the world? Because I just don't know sometimes.
Yeah, I don't
it feels exploitive.
I think it's for ratings. Honestly, that's the way I feel.
Well, we're not getting hired for Pillow Talk now. So everybody, that's the show, everyone. Oh, well, I guess we're not going to meet Sean Robinson. Not going to do that Instagram live like she suggested a year ago.
We're never going to get to be on Watch What Happens Live because I basically shit talked Andy Cohen.
I promise you, though, one day we're going to do a live show in New York, and I promise this right now, February 22nd, 2021. If we don't get Darcy and Stacey Silva to a live show in New York City, then we have failed.
I think my life's complete.
I would explode.
I don't know if they would do it. I don't know if they would do it.
We're going to make it happen. I want to make it happen. That's a goal for us.
Y'all, that's the show.
That is the show. We are hugging you. We're loving you. We're sending that. We're still, y'all.
I'm not hugging you. I'm hugging you from a distance because I have touch issues.
There are still sissies in Texas who don't have power. So we are sending all of our love to you. We're thinking of you. We know that you are still struggling. You're still coping. We just want to send you all of our love. Again, please go to rain.org. If you are feeling triggered or you need help in accessing information, we really want that for you. You can go to realitygazepodcast.com. You can also leave an Apple Podcast. You guys, we love it when you leave an Apple Podcast review. Nothing makes Poodle happy. Well, a 10-inch dick makes him happier.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. But if not, leave an Apple Podcast review. You can go to Apple Podcasts, leave 5 stars. And if you don't know what to say, what do you say,
Poodle?
Poodle?
Keep going, Queens.
Going, Queens. You can come at us on Cameo. Someone just asked, can you and Poodle do a Cameo together? No, because I'm in Oklahoma trying to take care of my father who's chasing pussy in Oklahoma with his pump-up dick.
I must say I did do a cameo today where actually I gathered these people together today, I should say. Not I did, but they wanted to know what Didi Rivette, Olga Pudlskaya, and Brittany from Smothered thought of Paul and Karini's sex tape. And so I gathered all those people to tell this person. It was quite a bit of scheduling.
What did Didi Rivette think of Paul's balls?
She didn't have a lot to say. She was calling his wiener diddle. That was what she was calling it.
Okay.
We got wiener diddles on sale. But only Thursday for some reason.
Only
Thursday half off.
Thursdays. All right, everybody. Yeah. We love you so much. Again, we normally do our sign off for the show, but I think it's more appropriate for this show to say, we love you. We're here for you. We support you. And if you need support, please go to rainn.org and go ahead, Poodle.
And keep the fuck going, Queens.
Keep the fuck going, Queens. We'll see you next episode. Bye.